Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, conversations worth having. Sorry about that long pause. It seems like there was some glitches going on with Facebook there. So, welcome, everyone joining. I'm so glad you're here. For those who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome. Even if you're catching the replay, be sure to jump into the comments there and let us know who you are and how you found us. Because you're going to see that you're part of a community here. EdTalk TV has become international. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great viewers that tune in both live and catch the replay. So even if you can't watch it live, definitely still catch the replay and most importantly, drop a comment because everyone likes to see who's coming over here and who has what to offer and all that stuff. So welcome. How's your day going? Let's start right there. How is your day going? Because it's Friday. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for the weekend. So ready. Maybe it's just the good weather that we're having here in California, but it is amazing. Vicky, hey, how are you? It's Friday/Saturday. Yep, in the UK. We have a lot of UK viewers for those tuning in for the very first time. We have a lot of UK viewers, and it's midnight their time when we go live here, which is 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's pretty crazy, but we have awesome people that tune in, both live and replay viewers, so it's very cool. Real quick, let me give you some fun facts about the show. Those who already know these fun facts, feel free to pop into the comments and say hello to each other. For those who are new, even if you're watching the replay, this is how it goes down. EdTalk TV is a talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. We go live 5 days a week. I know, it's crazy, but it's fun. And we bring on guests, so you can become a guest if you like. I'm actually going to share the show links here in the comments, so give me 1 second. And the reason I do this is so that way I can pin that comment during the broadcast, so then that way you guys can have it and see it for later. It has all kinds of good stuff. Hey, April, welcome. Thought about the Facebook reaction button. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Let me go ahead and pin this here. Perfect. And when you're joining live, for those who are new, I actually can put your comments on the screen, which is so much fun. So let me see what April said. I just had a thought about all of the Facebook reaction buttons. If they were to be taken away completely, would that force people to actually engage? Oh, I love it, April. I love it. Oh, look at that. Your comment went way across the board there. That is a good one. And so I want to get to that when we jump into the content, because that's a really good point. So those who are new, the talk show, it's a talk show. We are a talk show. See, anything can happen when you're live. And it's all about engagement here. Like, literally, even if you're shy, I'm a shy guy. I'm going live. I'm here. So you're here. Like, let's hang out and talk. And so definitely share in the comments and being able to love seeing the comments on the screen, right? Yeah, it's super cool, Vicky. So be sure to comment, even if you're watching the replay, because we're all about engagement. We're all about working with each other. Teamwork equals success. That's what I always say. And, show up, deliver, and engage. That's it. That's all you got to do. So here we go. So before we get into today's content, we're going to talk a little bit about random news. And then today's content is actually going to be about the like button. And is it killing us? So we'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But what I want to talk about is random news real quick. So how many of you, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you caught yesterday's episode or even the day before? So yesterday we had Tammy on, who helped us out with some branding 101. And then the day before we actually had another guest, Jazz, who helped us with branding as well. So we've had back-to-back branding episodes. If you missed those, you can check them out. The links are provided there in the comments. But yes, Nick, welcome, Nick. I love teamwork, exactly. So yesterday's episode and the day before, we had all about branding. So we're kind of on this streak, and I love it because who needs help? We all do, right? And I found this article about LL Bean. Now, how many of you, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you have bought anything from LL Bean or even know what LL Bean is? It's a store. I don't shop there, but it's a big store, a big retailer, and I kind of just gave that to you if you didn't know what it was. There you go. But let me know in the comments if you've ever bought anything from them before. The reason I bring them up is because it perfectly ties into the conversation that we've been having around branding and about customer service, right? We talked about that yesterday. I think Erica brought up a good point when we were talking about customer service. And, I told you, like these days, all you have to do is provide decent, we want excellent / good, right? But decent customer service, because that will make you stand out among everyone else, because customer service is like really in the dumps these days, right? How many of you can put up emoji in the comments, all of that. Oh yeah, Vicky, no, not out there. So Vicky, I'm not sure what would be equivalent to UK retail store, but it's like a big store. And I can share this link later in the comments as well. Aaron, yes, welcome. How was your trip, by the way? Did you have a good vacation? I hope so. Yes, Aaron didn't buy LL Bean, but definitely know the name. Yep, exactly. So LL Bean is a big retailer, and they actually have shocked their customers. Well, I would probably say their customers have probably, a small portion of their customers have shocked them, therefore they had to react and put out this statement. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this statement. Vicky, LL Bean's like an outdoorsy company, from what I gather. Cabo was amazing. Excellent, Aaron. I'm so glad that you had a good vacation. How many of you guys are ready for a vacation? Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. So I'm going to read this statement to you guys, and I want you to really listen to it, and then, of course, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, or if you're here live and you want to listen to it again later in the replay, you can comment then too. That's totally fine. But I want you to listen closely because it ties into business, branding, how you address your customers. It taps into everything we were talking about the last few days and just business in general. So I'm going to read it out to you guys just so that we have it. And of course, if you have quotes that you like, that you hear on Ed Talk TV here, you can see in the pinned comment, our official hashtag is hashtag EdTalkTV. So you can use that at any point in time. And don't forget to show the emotions here. Of course, you can always share, but we want comments and emotions, and we'll talk about that in the actual headline story here soon. But first, I want to go over this statement from LL Bean because it's a big one that you can bring on to, yes, welcome, thank you, April, I love it. Because this statement is a big one that you can pull information from to help you in your business. So let me go ahead and read that. My head's going to be a little bit down because I'm going to be looking down here, but I'll look at the comments as well. So LL Bean released this statement, quote, since 1912, you guys. Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for tuning in. 1912, LL Bean's mission has been to sell high-quality products that inspire and enable people to enjoy the outdoors. That one sentence right there tells you exactly who they are, right? And what they want you, the customer, to feel, to do, right? Then we'll continue here. Our commitment to customer service has earned us your trust and respect, as has our guarantee, which ensures that we stand behind everything we sell. So there's that guarantee, right? In just 2 sentences, they've told us what they offer, what their mission is, what they want for us, and how much they respect us as a customer, right? All right there in that 2 sentences. Then they go on to talk about how a small group of people are kind of taking advantage of what has been a lifetime guarantee policy that they've had for returns. I don't know the full details in terms of like why they had a full lifetime return policy, besides the fact that they did it because they stand behind their products that they sell and they know that they're good quality products. But I'm going to skip through a few more here and get down to where they say, based on these experiences, we have updated our policy because a few people have, a growing group of people, I should say, of their customers have been taking full advantage of this. And so it's basically has made LL Bean go through and question their policy and kind of fine tune it, make it a little bit more condensed, stronger. I don't know what word I'm looking for there, but here we go. So based on these experiences, this is from their statement, we have updated our policy. Customers will have 1 year after purchasing an item to return it, accompanied by proof of purchase. So I'm going to stop there before I get to this next point here. How many of you guys have shopped at a retail store? Target, Walmart, LL Bean, Toys R Us, UK viewers. I'm sorry, I don't know if there's any of those similar ones out there, but any retail store. Tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you have shopped at a retail store? And if you have, how has that return policy worked for you? What's the return policy that you've experienced at that store? Yep, exactly, Vicky. They'll return anything. By the way, we talked about this, so while you guys are letting me know in the comments about return policies that you've experienced from different stores, whether it's 7 days, 14 days, 2 years, whatever, let me know in the comments. But you might remember, for those who have watched previous episodes, closer to Christmas time / mid-January, we saw that a customer tried to return, well, they did return their dead Christmas tree after Christmas to Costco, because Costco has a return policy that basically you can return anything at any time. So if you're not familiar with Costco, it's a big warehouse retailer out here in the States for the most part. So LL Bean sounded like it had a similar policy, right? And you had a terrible time returning a couch that they wouldn't take back. Nice. Okay, there you go, Nick. Now, Nick, was the policy, were you past whatever their policy was? Like, did they have a 7-day return policy, 14-day return policy? Let me know in the comments. Aaron returned a toy that broke at Target with no packaging and no receipt. Okay, and they were able to go ahead and exchange that for you, or credit you, I'm guessing, for that toy. Perfect. So you guys, you've experienced some buying and returning from a store, right? So this is what I love, though, about this statement from LL Bean, is that they actually are still giving you a really good return here. Because most stores, they're starting to ease up, I think, a little now, but most stores are maybe 7 to 14 days. And then you have, like, that's kind of like the end. 30 days max for most stores to return something. Perfect, Aaron got a gift card back. Awesome. So what LL Bean did was, instead of cutting it completely down, their forever plan, they did this. After 1 year, we will work with our customers to reach a fair solution if a product is defective in any way. Now, how many of you, show me some love there on Facebook, drop it in the comments, how many of you can appreciate that, even if you're watching the replay? How many of you can appreciate just that one statement? I'm going to read it again. After 1 year, we will work with our customers to reach a fair solution if a product is defective in any way. Like, they're still willing to work with you even after that year. They're just putting a date on it just to kind of, keep things on a level playing field there. Right, I'm going to look at your comment here. I took a couch back to Big Lots, yep, that I found on the side of the road. It smelled like old cheeseburgers. Nice. They finally took it back, so I'm in the market again. Perfect, Nick. Yep, perfect. So yes, so that right there, that statement, those few sentences that they posted, you can pull a lot of information from that and apply it to whatever you're creating, to your business, and think about your customers, right? We talked about the last 2 episodes, especially. What can you do to put yourself in your customer's shoes? Because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about them, your customers, right? And so you want to make sure that you know that and you're there. So understand that. And then I want to read the last part of LL Bean before we jump into the like button today. The last part here of their statement says, quote, LL Bean has stood for quality, service, trust, and getting people outdoors ever since my great-grandfather founded our company over 100 years ago, and that will never change. Thank you for being a loyal customer, and we look forward to continuing to inspire and enable you to be an outsider. Boom. Like, Sean, who wrote this, beautifully he wrote it beautifully. Sean could be either a man or a woman. So Sean wrote this beautifully, and I just wanted to read that to you guys so that way you can understand and have a good example of something that's happening in real life and how they're addressing the issue and how they're still working with their customers and how they're still standing behind their mission and what their mission is, right? Vicky says, I had problems with a bed and furniture store, and I've never shopped there again. Yeah, because that will happen, right? Like you go shopping somewhere, and you hope that the experience is good, because the fact is like there's a few things, right? Let's break it down a little bit. When you go shopping, there's a few things that happen. There's the experience, that journey that you go on, and then there's you actually buying whatever product there is, right? And then whatever experience you have with that. So especially at a retail store, when you go into that store, you need to have a good experience. So if salespeople are just hanging out, talking to themselves or being on the phone and not helping you, that's a negative experience for you. And then when you go to buy a product and have a negative experience with that, then chances are you're not going to ever go back to that store. And therefore that owner just lost a good customer. And potentially a long-term customer, right? So you have to understand that, especially if you have a physical location, and of course you can take all of these and apply it to your online business, is that you're able to then have your business. So if we're talking about retail, you have your store. What kind of experience are you going to provide there? Because that has to be good for people to walk in and go through to eventually buy. And then once they buy that product, whether it's yours or you're selling other people's products, because, if you're a retailer, you probably have more than just your product. You unfortunately can't control everything that happens with that product. You can hope for the best and hope that they don't have any, malfunctioning toys, a broken toy, or, dead batteries or whatever, if they're lucky to even have batteries included in the toy. But you know what I mean? So think about that, especially with your online business. The same thing you can relate to is your website. That's your store, your online store, right? Whether you're selling products or not, your online presence, your website is your physical store in the online world, if that makes sense. Kind of like weird there, but that's okay. So what kind of experience are you giving people when they come to your website? If you got a ton of stuff going on and hard to read font and like weird pictures everywhere, you might have some opportunity there to think a little bit more about your customer and sketch it out, right, on paper to see what's next. Like how can you fine tune that? How can you make that experience better? Because they need to be able to dive in and keep going. Otherwise, they're out. You only get a few seconds before people move on. So keep that in mind. Replay viewers, even if you're watching the replay, let us know what you think on that as well. I know we have our live comments going here. So that's your experience there. Now, let me ask you, as we jump into shift gears here and to start talking about, is the like button killing us? Let me just put that out there. What are your thoughts about the like button on Facebook? Like, even if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. What do you use the like button for? Are you using the like button? Like, let's dive a little deeper into that button by itself. Don't worry about the emotions here, because we're going to start talking about that here soon. But what about the like button? Do you use the like button? And if you do, why do you use it? And that can change depending on what the posts are, right? At least for me it does. I don't know about you, but for me it does. Ryan says, yeah, I worked in retail over 9 years, would never do it again. Big chains don't give. Yep, exactly. It's tough. It's very tough, especially if it's big, a retailer. Let's see Aaron here. Oh, they made it hard for me to see the comments until I put it up here. So I know several people that offer a certain amount of work on a client's project at no cost. Yep, they get paid if the client wants to continue. If not, the client can just walk away. Yeah, so that's an online version. Perfect. So when it comes to the Facebook like, right, we know what that like button is. It's right there. It's been with us ever since Facebook started. It's kind of a useless button. I mean, let's be real, right? There's there's some things about it that we can like and dislike about it. Vicky says, I only like pages I would potentially buy from. I press like, love, etc. to show how I feel about the product. Yes, that's what we're going to start jumping into here. And April brought that up earlier too, about what happens if we remove the like button. So we'll talk about that. On Facebook, it's so easy, and this actually applies to Instagram too, because we have the heart. It also applies to Twitter, but we'll stick with Facebook. The like button, there's a kind of a time and a place for it. If you really are just going through quickly and you just wanted to like somebody's comment, just to show that you noticed them, that's kind of what the like button is. It's just a, hey, I noticed you, and that's about it. I always like to try to at least follow up with a comment if I'm only going to use the like button. Try to follow up with a comment just to kind of give them some insight about why I liked it, right? Because that like button doesn't give us anything. It doesn't do anything. I mean, cool, you liked my post. Okay, but what did you like about it? Did you like the title? Did you like the image? Did you like the video? Did you like the subject? I mean, what is that like? So it keeps us thinking like, okay, but what else is there? And then there's this whole, I'm just going to read Vicky's comment. I used to do like for like, oh yeah, pages, but that does nothing for your page anymore. Yes, Vicky, great point. So that's a big one when it comes to liking pages, because this all ties in together, right? Facebook is now starting to go through and really kind of move us away from the like, because they figured out that that's not for us. Like, we need to start showing emotions, which is funny because in order to get to the emotions, you still have to see the like button. You still have to go through the like button in order to actually see the emotions, which, going back to April's comment, will be interesting to see if they ever do get rid of the like button, which I doubt they will, but if they do, if we only had those emotions, what would that do, right? And then how would that interact? Because if you guys don't know this already, right now with the new Facebook algorithm changes, they're not really looking at the likes. That's back in 2017. We're in 2018. We're all growing here, right? And so they're looking at the emotions. They're looking at comments big time because they want the engagement. They want to see people, well, they want people to feel something and they want people to say something, right? Obviously, you want it to tie into the conversation, but that's the big one, is that you want to be able to go past the like, which is what we talk about all the time on the show here, is go past the like. Show some emotion, even if you're watching the replay, and drop a comment. Let people know who you are, what you're interested in. You'll see that that's how you get noticed in people's news feeds, and in the comments, I should say. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that you need to spam their news feed, their comments, especially during a live or a replay. Like, that's not what it's about, because let's be honest, if you start doing that, that's when you're going to that's when people are going to look at your profile, because remember, your profile and your name and your photo all show up when you comment. So that's when people can see that and they're like, okay, well, obviously this person doesn't get it. They're in the wrong spot, or they're just trying to whatever, So that ties into commenting, and you really don't want to have to get into that. So make sure that you're dropping a comment that provides value, that's insightful, that's part of the conversation, because again, we're all working together, right? And we're all working, whether it's on this show or somebody else's, if it's just a regular post, it doesn't matter. If you're taking the time to show emotion to somebody's post, then why not take 2 extra seconds, maybe 30 seconds, to drop a comment about why? How did that make you feel? Why did you like that? What caught your attention for it? Like, for instance, this live, this episode, what caught your attention? Was it the title? Was it the notification you got? Why did you tune in, right? That's the kind of stuff that you want to ask yourself and your audience. And even if they're watching the replay, because remember, most people catch the replay. It's hard to get a ton of people on your live broadcast. So if you're just starting out with going live, understand that you don't need to worry about those numbers. Don't worry about who shows up, how long they stay, what the comments are. Like if you're just getting started, your only job is to have a topic with some talking points. I usually say 1 topic, 3 talking points, and then go live and deliver it. Like that's all. And then if people show up, if they leave comments afterwards, then you go over and you engage with them. That's it. So it's just that simple, right? And now I know that going live can be very intimidating, and that's a whole nother ballgame, but that's really like the formula of just what you need to do. You just show up and deliver, and then engage when you can. So that's what Facebook is trying to get us all to do, is really start engaging more, which is why they want you to comment, which is why they want to start having people use the emotions, and that's what's allowing you to get your page seen, by the way. So how many of you, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you have a Facebook page? Let me know in the comments if you have a Facebook page. And Aaron brought up a good point. This is interesting. So I don't know how many of you guys know of the app called Nextdoor, but it's an app that allows you to meet your neighbors, basically, and kind of have your own private network, Facebook type style. And instead of likes, they have thanks. So there's a cool one. You know, I will say also, Vicky has a page. Yep, perfect. I will also say that what I would like to see in the emotions, and maybe this is just me, I don't know, you guys tell me, let me ask that first before I tell you mine. Even if you're watching the replay, what emotion would you like to see here? And it could be one that's already there. But if it's not there, what's an emotion, and you can use your emoji keyboard to let me know, but what emotion would you like to see there? Because I'll tell you, for me, besides the love one, and of course, you know, I use probably these 3 the most, but I would like to see like a celebration one. Because for me, there's a lot of people in my newsfeed that, you know, I mean, I make my newsfeed happy and good, and being able to celebrate people's wins. And what I would like to see is a celebration one. Now I know I can type it and I can show the emoji, but like that is something I would like to see here, because remember, this all right here, these are patterns. These are what shape our behaviors. Facebook's giving us the tools and is basically telling us these are all you get. This is all you get, and this is all I want you to do. And so we're forced to use these, right? And so, I mean, you don't have to, but what we see, that's what we think, okay, it's kind of a habit, which is why the like button, for some researchers say is killing us, which I'll get to this article here in a second. But I would like to see a celebration one in there, because, you know, these ones over here, I don't know about you guys, let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, but the sad and the angry one, I don't know, those ones can go either way. It's hard to say, because, you know, I could post something and the article itself makes you angry, which is why you popped onto the angry one. But then if I'm looking at the post and I get that notification, I'm like, oh wait, Aaron's mad? Like, why is Aaron mad? Was it the post? Did she not like the post? Or was it with the post? Like, I mean, how many of us do that, right? That's why the like button is killing us, because that it doesn't give us much. We don't know what's going on, right? Oh, applause would be good, Vicky. Yeah, an applause one would be good. That's probably more than like the little celebration one. I like that. The applause would be a good one. So know that when you start using these emojis, the emotions, it's always nice to drop a comment to go with that. So then the other person can understand a little bit more about what's going on. Because here's the thing, and we're talking about the like button, but obviously it can apply to some of these as well. But what happens with the like button is it's just kind of passive. We just kind of just like scroll and then it doesn't mean anything to us or to the other person, right? I always say I need an eye roll. I like that, Aaron. An eye roll one. That would be funny too. That would be funny. Yeah, like how cool would that? Facebook, if you're listening, you're watching, you got some good tips here. And being able to have like the eye roll one, right? I mean, we have the GIF images and stuff, but a quick emoji of that would be fun. And then again, then we'll be like, okay, well, why did they roll their eyes? Was it me or was it the post? How many of us, we all go through that. It's all like the mind games. But with the like button, this article that I was reading, it's talking about how it must die. Chances are it's not going to, but it talks about why. And then here I'm going to quote them. Quote, "The like has become the currency of carelessness, a way to show we approve without being deeply invested. In many cases, it covers for a lack of attention. It helps fake news, propaganda, discourages meaningful conversations, engages shallowness, and exacerbates the most psychological damaging effects on social media." That's pretty deep. I'm not going to lie. When you read that, you're like, oh, I didn't really think about the like button like that. I mean, I use it sometimes when I'm going through the comments, right? Because I go through all your guys' comments and I have to comment on the majority of them. I like to comment on the majority of them, I should say. And then some I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to like that because I did like that, but there is a deeper meaning behind the like button depending on who it is. Yeah, Vicky, right? It's deep. When you think about that, you're kind of like, I don't know if I should like anything now. I mean, even Erin, when she saw the notification for this, she was like, I had to hold back from liking this post. But hey, you can always share with your emotions, right? You can use the emotions there. But think about that, like that's pretty deep. Let's see, on this article, it also talks about our addiction to social media, right? We're addicted to social media. And that like button, unfortunately, is the only thing we can blame for our addiction, right? Because we want to see how many likes we got. We want to see, who liked our post. Are they going to like this post that I'm posting, right? Like, those are the things that go through our minds. And, going back to, I think Vicky had mentioned it before, about pages and groups and, she didn't mention the groups, but pages. And then I'm mentioning in groups, there are posts where you can share your page. Now, you guys know, if you've been following me, that I am not about that like for like game. That's just, I don't want you to like or follow my page unless the content fits for what you're looking for, because I'm not about the numbers. I'm about the quality. And so if you're just liking for like, it's not going to happen. Like, I mean, you can like my page, sure, but it doesn't mean anything to me unless you're actually following and engaging with us, right? And you're picking up something that you can take and apply to your business. And then also, what I don't like and I can't stand is if you reply, so like if you're in a group, for instance, and they have these promo days, which are great. They're a great way to connect with people. I love Fridays because probably today we'll have some new viewers, either live or on the replay, which I love because they just found me from some of the groups that I'm in. And today was promo day, which is awesome. Hey, Whitney, welcome. Time zones mixed up, I know, right? So when it comes to these groups that you go into and you're posting about your page, remember that if somebody wants to like your page, awesome. Like, if that's the content that works, great for them. But don't feel obligated to follow them back because they liked your page. Unless the content is what you're looking for, right? Like, that's a big one, is that you want to make sure that you're not just liking things because it's a false number. It doesn't mean anything. You can have 400 likes on your page. You can have 100,000 likes on your page. But if you have no engagement, it means nothing. Hey, Anna, welcome. Right? If you have no engagement on your page, then what's the point? You have a fancy number sitting there, but it really doesn't look good because you don't have any engagement. And people can see that because they can scroll through your page and see that there's no engagement on your post, yet you have hundreds of thousands of people who like it. Questionable. Same thing on Instagram, which is why, I'm on Instagram, but that's like total false numbers over there. And yep, exactly, Aaron. Relevant content is key. So, when you're going through and you have the opportunity to promote your page, but do it in a way that provides value. Share a little something about your page in that post. Let people know what they can find when they go to your page, right? Let them know what you talk about. And then also, don't feel obligated if somebody then comments and says, hey, I liked your page, here's mine, like it back. You can check it out. If it applies, awesome, but don't feel like you have to go like it because they liked yours. Because we're not about that. 2018, we're not about that. And Facebook realizes that now, right? They're making these changes to the algorithm so that way it's not about the likes anymore. It's not about how much content can you put out there. It's about quality engagement. Less is more because you want to dive deeper into the conversation. Vicky says, I no longer worry about the like count. Exactly. It's all also key to respond to every individual's response. That's a big one. I'm going to put that one on the screen here. That's a big one. So you guys will notice that I take the time after broadcasts to go through and follow up in the comments, right? We call it the after party. Because it's important. One, you took the time to show up and engage. And two, it's important for me to reply, because that's just my nature. I like to have the conversation, even if it's just in the comments, right? But it's important to do that. And then it also helps this episode. It helps this page with the engagement. And then that notifies something in Facebook land saying, hey, this guy's got some cool stuff going on. Like, we should help him out in the newsfeed so that more people can join into the conversation. Like, that's how Facebook, on a really dumbed down level, right, works, is that they want you to listen to what they want. So going live, commenting, showing emotion, and diving deeper into the conversation. That's what they want. So when you start accepting that and giving them what they want, then they start rewarding you by boosting your posts without you having to pay for anything. Because and those who are new and watching the replay, I don't pay for ads. I don't do ads. I'm hoping I never have to. There may be a time and a place for it, but at this point I have not done any ads. What I have done is the hard work to create this environment, to create the conversation, and to continue to engage with you and build this community and be able to share with each other what we learn, what we know, right? Vicky, exactly. Engage back in knowledge. Yep. That's why I encourage you guys to always comment so that you can learn from each other and be able to make new connections. Erica, welcome. How effective are hashtags on Facebook? Oh, that's a good one. So that is a good one. So hashtags is a very interesting story when it comes to Facebook. They are more useful on IG, which is Instagram, and on Twitter. That's for sure. As far as if it's changed, I haven't heard anything of that changing. But I will say on Facebook has never really enjoyed hashtags. It's a weird thing. And I don't know how deep into the algorithm that affects how you get seen in the newsfeed, because they don't really talk about that part, and a lot of the Facebook influencers don't really mention that. They just mention that Facebook just is not popular with hashtags. However, I feel like I kind of feel like you have an advantage if you use a hashtag. Now, let me explain that. Well, let me back up for a second. Let me ask, how many of you use a hashtag on Facebook? Even if you're watching the replay, let me know. How many of you use a hashtag here on Facebook? Aaron says, I generally use hashtags just for, comedic relief. Yep, exactly. And that's a big one. So On Facebook, most of the time you will see hashtags in posts just for fun, like hashtag winning, right? It's not so much of like branded hashtags. You don't see that very much on Facebook because everyone's just been told, well, Facebook just doesn't like hashtags, and most people don't use hashtags on Facebook. They use it on Instagram or Twitter. That's what I was wondering. Started to use hashtags more on my business page. Yeah, Erica, nice. So we're going to get to that in just a second. So it's interesting to me because I was in that line too. I was like, well, you don't use hashtags on Facebook. You just use it for fun, maybe in a post, but that's about it. You don't really search for hashtags on Facebook and all of that. Hey, yeah, I love that. See, comic relief, love that. We're going to say hashtag I'm back, Ed. I love that. So with Facebook, I have been testing my hashtag. So hashtag EdTalkTV. And what's interesting is, like, most people aren't going to search for that, right? Because they're not searching for hashtags on Facebook. But when you do search for it, what pops up? All of this. The page, posts, the quotes that you share on your personal profiles from the show, anything that has that hashtag. So it's very interesting because I almost feel like, Erica says I bury them though, to be honest, because they feel clunky here. That's true. That's the thing. That is the thing when it comes to Facebook, is that the hashtags, they're not generally accepted as much on Facebook just because it's Facebook versus Instagram and Twitter. However, now, and again, when we say hashtags, I feel like the reason why they're not accepted as much on Facebook is because usually when you say hashtags, plural, you're referring to the up to 30 hashtags you can post on an Instagram post, right? So if you're not familiar with Instagram, let's take a side trip here real quick because it ties in. Let me just see, Anna. That's the conversation in a lot of groups. Yeah, I'm planning on teaching. Oh, nice, on your there, perfect. So let's talk about Instagram just for a second because it ties in. So on Instagram, the whole point of Instagram, if you want to be seen, is to post something nice, like a great photo, and then a bunch of hashtags. And of course, you can get into the whole mix of, well, you should have a couple of broad ones and then a couple very specific ones and vice versa. But at the end of the day, you can do up to 30 hashtags on one post, which looks, in Erica's words, clunky, right? Because you have a huge stack of hashtag this, hashtag Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like it's this big block of hashtags, and it looks bad. And so if you were to post that same thing on Facebook, it looks kind of spammy because you got all these hashtags, and that's not generally accepted on Facebook. So what I think works, and again, I don't know if it affects anything in the newsfeed, but what I think works on Facebook is if you use a hashtag, one hashtag, in your post, then it doesn't look so bad. And it's fine. You might have seen some of my posts on my personal profile or from other people who have actually shared quotes from the episodes here. You do a quote, and then you do hashtag EdTalkTV. Clean, simple, and then people know where it came from, right? And then if they click that hashtag, they're going to see all of the results showing, oh, well, here's an episode, here's another episode, maybe I should check this out. So I still think that it's okay to use on Facebook if it's one hashtag and if it applies to what you're posting. I don't think that it's accepted and it's not going to look good if you're using it to try to get exposure like you would on Instagram, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys who are live, even if you're watching the replay? I'm going to look at the comments here for a second. Vicky said, I also heard you should put prices in comments and not on posts. Oh, yeah. So, Vicky, there's this whole thing going on about having the money sign in your post as well as on an image. Basically, they just don't want you to be basically selling, right? If it comes up in the conversation, great. But remember, it's not about the sale necessarily. It's about that conversation, and Facebook's really trying to crack down on that. Yeah, it's so much cleaner, right, Erica? Boom. Put that on the screen. Hey, Tammy. Yes, mic drop. Yes. For those who weren't here yesterday, we had a great episode with Tammy, so definitely check that out. And yes, makes sense. Perfect. Okay, cool. Makes perfect sense. Awesome. Yeah, so I think that if you are going to use hashtags, use them on Instagram, use them on Twitter, however you like, but on Facebook, I would suggest only using one. And to be honest, unless it's for comic relief, of course, I mean, obviously use one for comic relief too, but if it's not for comic relief, if it's really tied to whatever you're creating, so your brand, your business, your offerings, whatever, like, make it branded, meaning use an official hashtag for you, do some research, try to make sure nobody else is using it. Of course, hashtags anybody can use, but you want to try to get one that hasn't really been used, so that way it shows your stuff, and then start using that. See what happens. Like I said, I have no idea if it impacts the way your post gets shown in the newsfeed. I have not heard anything about that. I haven't seen anybody talk about that part of it. So it's worth testing and it's worth trying, especially if you have a business page. You know, it's just something fun. People love hashtags. We heard that on the episode, I think, yesterday and the day before. We love hashtags, so it's fun. So why not? Embrace it. Just don't get crazy with it on Facebook because nobody likes that. And then it looks just too messy. So try not to do that. So let me see what else we had here. Yeah, try that, Vicky. It's all about testing, you guys. It's all about testing. You just never know what's going to work and what's not. Like we celebrated the other day, one of our episodes that now has gone over 5,000 in reach, but the night of, within an hour and a half, for whatever reason, I have no clue why, but for whatever reason, it had over 4,000 reach. It's the biggest episode we've ever had. We didn't really do much different. I mean, we had different guests, we had talked about content, but it wasn't like, I didn't buy a boost, I didn't do any of that stuff. It just happened to be that high for that day. We had it at the same time, we had it same place, like, you try to think of all these things like, oh, maybe what changed? Who knows? Who knows? It could have been the amount of engagement that one had. It could have been the word content. It's hard to say, but you're always testing. Yeah, Erica, no more than 30. Facebook, I don't think cuts you off, but Instagram will. But yeah, you don't want to definitely put 30 on your Facebook. And so let's see. I think that there was something else I wanted to share with you guys here about this article. Going back to the like button, talking about, instead of, so the reason why the like button is making us lazy is because it's easy. Instead of asking how people are or what's new in their lives, we can just double tap or just tap their latest Instagram selfie or their latest post here on Facebook and then be done with it, right? But it doesn't start the conversation. Like if you just like this episode, it's just going to tell me that you liked it, but I can't ask you, unless I specifically go in and start typing your name, I can't ask you, like, what did you like about this episode? Did you learn something, right? Like, just simple questions that you can ask. Hey, Mickey, welcome. No problem. See, that's what I love around here, you guys. Even if you're new, watching the replay, we all hang out, we love to tune in, and we just have a good time, and we connect with each other, which is awesome. And so, how did the call go, by the way, Mickey? I'm just going to ask you right now, and then I'll reply in the comments too. But how did the client call? I hope it went well. So when it comes to the like button, try to go past that. Sometimes, you're just being in a hurry and you just want to show some support, if you will. Cool. Like, that's no problem. Like, I know I do that too. But try to get in that habit of starting that conversation. Show the emotion. Show the comment. And see what happens from there. I'm going to read what Tammy wrote. I've started sending a personal birthday card image post to those who are following me. Oh, I like that. Look at Tammy coming in for the win there. I like that. Bringing in the engagement. Perhaps all button needs to go then. So Vicky, yes. So like we mentioned at the beginning, right, is that what we're talking about now is the like button. And of course, we're all blaming the like button because it was the first original button that actually was created to absolutely do nothing. I forget what article it was, but the creator of it literally had said that it was there just for fun. Like it wasn't meant to do anything. But that conversation that we're talking about here with the like button, you can totally bring that over here to the emotions. Like, it's the same thing, right? We talked about it. If you get angry at a post, but you don't leave a comment, well then what's the point? Like, how am I supposed to know what made you mad? How are we supposed to like dive a little deeper, right? Engagement is the new location. Ooh, I like that. Yes. Erica for the win on that one. I like that. And that's a big one, is the like button is like the online version of the head nod sup. Yes. Aaron, yes. There's so many things that can be said about this like button. But what you guys are doing right now is awesome. Like, this is what we do around here, for those who are new. This is what we do. We have that conversation. We hang out in the comments. We connect with each other. And we share our insight and figure out, like, well, maybe all the button needs to go, right? Like, literally, we should just have comment and share. Because that, and to be honest, that's actually where I would go with it. But, of course, you know, Facebook's not paying me yet to help them with this stuff. But when they're ready, they will help. I will help with all of that stuff. And I'm just checking here. Yes, speak up. Oh, that's good, Erica. So, yes, that is a big thing. Is for me, I would probably say I would get... I mean, it's hard because those emotions, the like button and the emotions, they're fun to have. And they could start the conversation, right? For those who are shy, like maybe you tuned in and that was a big step for you. Then you hit the like or the love, and that was a big step for you. And then your next step is like actually commenting. And so going from there, you know, maybe to live. And so there is a process. I get that for people because we're all at different levels. But it would be interesting to test and see if we only had comment and share. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. Get in contact with them, Ed. I know. Trust me, Vicky. They definitely need to be listening because, and I'm sure they are because don't get me wrong, I have a social media app that's been on the back burner for a while now. Don't get me wrong. I got some tricks up my sleeve still. They're just on the back seat right now. Yes, hashtag just saying. So, you know, really think about that the next time you go through your posts and go through and not only like, but like give a comment. If you're going to like, so here's the thing. Okay, I'll give you some homework here. Give me 1 second. Let me see what Mickey said. Also, Ed, you taught us your expectations that we engage here. Yep, and I'm trying to model that on your lives. Awesome, Mickey. It's huge. Yeah, that's the whole point, you guys. I love that you guys show up and you guys all encourage me to keep going and motivate me to keep going because what I share here, it's not like I'm top dog and like you have to listen. It's we work together and I share what I know and I hope that you can pull something from it to then go and use on your page, in your business, you know, and see what works and test it and see what's going on. You know, like Mickey she's been doing the work. You will notice, let me put it back up on the screen. I'm going to call you out, Mickey, here. You'll notice that she's using her business page to engage. We've talked about that. She's using her business page to engage here in the comments, which is awesome. She's also, as you can see, taking it to the next level and bringing that over to her lives, which is awesome. And you have to ask for that engagement. Exactly, Erica. You really do, you guys. You have to ask for that engagement. And if you're doing live broadcasts, you have to remember, just like I do all the time, you have to remind yourself, replay viewers. You have to talk to your replay viewers as if they're right there. Why? Because we know that you're tuning in after the fact. I know I get replay viewers. I know you're going to get replay viewers. So just because they don't show up live doesn't mean you can't connect with them. And I want to connect with all of you guys. So remember that and include them on there. Do something. Oh, yes. Yeah, Tammy. WordPress.org versus .com conversation. Yeah, we definitely need to have that conversation. That's a big one. Homework. Because it's Friday. But we're all going to have a great weekend, by the way. You don't have to do this homework this weekend. We can all just chill this weekend. That's fine. But what I want you to practice, you can start today, unless it's already the weekend for you. But what I want you to practice is, if you're going to like a post, and we can go to the emotions too. You can apply the emotions too if you want. But I'm going to specifically say about the like. If you're going to like a post, spend a couple extra seconds and drop a comment. Just for practice. If nothing else, it's practice for you to get more comfortable in that habit so that you're not sitting there constantly just scrolling like that's a habit that we need to break. So this exercise is going to help you break that habit. So every time you go to like something, remind yourself, oh, Ed said to leave a comment. Let me leave a comment. So every time you see something, you better rest for real, Ed. I know. I know, Erica. It's gonna be a mess. I know. So that's your homework that I want you to do, and let me know how it goes. You can tag the page. You can we have a whole community on this page, so you can tag the page, post on that. You can tag me in the comments here, whatever. But I want you to practice. Anytime you are going to like a post, you immediately drop a comment. It could just be great post. Like, we're not even going to get into details. You can go as detailed as you want. It doesn't matter. I just want you to like and comment on someone's post. That's it. Just so you can get in that habit. And don't just do it once. Do it from now on. That's where we're going for that. So, yes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm so excited for the weekend because I really am ready to hang out and just chill. Though I'm sure there'll be some work that I'll do, but it's going to be kind of on the back burner. I'm telling myself that it's relaxing time and it's okay, so I don't feel guilty about it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and that you guys have a fantastic weekend wherever you're at in the world. And I can't wait to see you guys on Monday. Have a beautiful night, morning, wherever you guys are. Oh, Debbie, welcome. I'm going to put you on. Debbie, I'm so happy to see you. So happy to see you. My weekend now is totally made, you guys. We are good to go off into the weekend. So happy. Oh, yeah, National Pizza Day. That's right, Tammy. Thank you. Which is funny because I told myself I wanted pizza today, but that I wasn't going to go have pizza. Now you put that in front of my face again. So there it is. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Take care. This episode is sponsored by Stupid Easy. Easily create, share, and sell your online courses. Discover more at stupideasy.com.